In exercise 2a, first you need to create a table for the graduate class 53 in natural resources environment. This table, and then you need to complete the following requirements. In this video, I skip the data entry step. However, in your assignment, you have to do this step yourself. After entering the data, we will format the table. Yeah, we will format this table to make it look like a sample. So firstly, we use the font Times New Roman. So just take a look to all of the requirements here. There are 12 requirements. So we will like one by one. So for the first one, add two columns, letter grade and scholarship into the right of the final grade column. Okay. After finishing format, I can delete this sample. Okay, so we need two more columns in the right side of the final grade. So it here two column. We can use the format painter tool to copy the format, and then letter grade. Type enter the letter grade and scholarship. Okay, and then we will fill the letter grade column on the following criteria. So the letter grade is based on the final grade, as we can see here. So actually here we can use the function if or if. So if you already have the Excel 2016, so you can directly use the function if. So here I will use the ifs first. If so, the logical test one is the final grade if it's higher or equal to 8.5. So the letter grade will be A. And the logical test 2 is final grade is higher or equal to 7. The letter grade is B. If final grade is higher or equal to 5.5, the letter grade is C. Final grade higher or equal to 4.0. The letter grade is D, and otherwise it means the letter grade is less than 4. So the letter grade is F. So instead of using ifs, we can also use the function if. In this case, we have to use if in if. So the logical test is final grade. If final grade is higher or equal to 8.5, it's A. And then we have to use another if here. If final grade higher or equal to 7, it's B. Another if for another logical test, another condition. 5.5 C. And we still have more conditions, so one more if final grade is less than 4 is D, and finally otherwise F. And please note that here we use 1, 2, 3, 4 if. So in the last one, we need to close the formula like this. Enter. So for this requirement, you can use ifs or if. It's up to you. So please just remember that for the version of Excel 20, so please remember that you can only use function if with s from the version of Excel 2016. For the lower version, so for example 2013, 2010, you can only use the if. But from the 2016, you can use either ifs or if. It's up to you. So then after that we can like copy the formula. Similarly, we can find the scholarship as the requirement 3. Similarly, with the requirement 2, for the requirement 3, when calculate the scholarship, we can use either ifs like this, or we can also use the function if. Here we have one if in one if in if, like this. So we can see here if the student have the grade letter A or B, is equivalent to the final grade is higher or equal to 7. So they will have scholarship. Otherwise, they don't have this one, like this one. See. So the next requirement is to insert a new column result after the letter grade column. So it means here this is the result. And the result is also depends on the final grade. So here we can use the if function. If final grade is higher or equal to 4, this means pass. The final grade is pass. Otherwise, it fail. Of course, in this case, we can also use a function if, like it. The next requirement is count the number of students with final grade is higher or equal to 7. So it's, we will use a function count if here. So the range is the final grade, and then the criteria is higher or equal to 7. Uh, Here, the function is the formula doesn't work because I forgot to put the criteria inside the quotation mark. So here, so it works now. So the next requirement is to count the number of students whose letter grade is not D. So it means we count the number of students who has the letter grade is A, B, C, or F, right? We can also use the function countif. So we can also use a countif for this requirement. And here is the range is from stage 5 to stage 14. And then here is a criteria. It means the letter grade is not D. And next one, we are going to count the number of students who receive a scholarship. Also use a count if. Also use a count if is a scholarship. So a student who receive a scholarship, it means their scholarship is is higher than 0, right? So we can use this one. Count if with the range of the scholarship column and the criteria is higher than 0. We have to count the number of students whose letter grade is F. So also use a count if. Let's the grades column and the criteria is F. There is the result is 0 because there are no student who have the letter grade is F. So calculate the scholarship amount for male student. So here we'll have to use the sum if function. In sum if, the first parameter is the range. Just here is the range of the criteria is male student. So the range is the range the gender criteria will be male. And the sum range will be the scholarship. So we calculate the total scholarship for students with letter grade A. So similarly, we also use the sum if. But now the range of the criteria will be the letter grade, the criteria will be A, and the sum range will be the scholarship. The next requirement is calculate the average of attendance, coursework, exam, final grades, and scholarship column. So we just use the average function of attendance, yeah, and copy to. Uh, of course, it's diff by zero because here is a letter, not the number. So it's copy it to here. Okay, we're done with exercise 2A. So task is to practice following my instruction and then submit the practice assignment to our learning system. So we make a little bit of format here, right? We can use a comma style to make it more clear here. And then using the format painter, go here, go here.